Hello, hello, and welcome to Peaked at Birth. It's a podcast.
It's starting.
Cool. I was waiting for you to chime in eventually.
Oh, it was your introduction.
Yeah, but I can't be the only one carrying it on my back.
No, that's what the introduction's for. You got to give us a good send off.
Okay, you're welcome. All right. Anyway, welcome to the Peaked at Birth podcast. I am Michael,
I am Cody.
and we exist, and we didn't want to.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. That's a good way to put it at
Yeah, see,
this moment in time.
yeah, I mean, it's hard to live through life knowing that your best moment was when you were pushed out of your mother.
Yeah.
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 If God shows a highlight reel of my life, that's the only thing on it. It's a 5-second clip, and it's just my crowning.
The only other thing he might put in my highlight clip is that time that I smashed my head on the fucking concrete by trying to ramp a bike. But I mean,
You know what? I take that back.
maybe that's a low light.
There's one other moment I think God would show, and I think it would be playing tag with my little sister right after I moved to our hometown. And I smashed my head into a glass door on a china cabinet.
Okay. Okay.
And I first off, I no cuts or anything. I ran headfirst into a glass door. Did not have a single cut.
Well, yeah. So actually, that whole situation with me falling and smacking my head probably would be a low light. I don't know. I fell over. Wait, so I didn't have enough speed to go over the ramp completely, and I fell over the front of the ramp. I hit my forehead really hard in the ground, and then the bike fell on top of me.
I don't think I'd put that in a highlight reel.
No, that's why I said low light. It's probably a low light.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah. So anyway, we should probably, Michael, tell us a little about it. Little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born.
Okay.
And now I'm alive. There, that's all you need.
No. Tell us more.
Wait.
By the way, for those listening, Michael and I are childhood friends. Best friends maybe now, I don't know.
Best friends and adult, not so much as kids. Essentially,
Yeah.
what we're going to be doing is a lot of this is just going to be stories about when we were growing up and stuff, and pretty much who we are as adults and what we appreciate. And
yeah,
dumb and shit we just want to make fun of.
Yeah, and then general conversation, all that other stuff. But anyway, tell us a little bit more about yourself. What you do now.
Okay.
How's your life? How's your toes? I don't know.
Well, my toes are fine. Thank you for asking.
You're
nothing
welcome.
Nothing smashed on them. My name is Michael. I'm a Twitch streamer and advocate on Twitter for the Keebler elves being genocidal maniacs. That's pretty much all I do.
Nice.
Yeah.
As I said in the beginning, I'm Cody. I am for a living. I actually work in a marching band uniform factory doing data entry. It's super laid back. It's kind of lame, but it pays the bills.
It's more exciting than it sounds.
Yeah, I guess.
You can't just say, "Oh, I do data entry for a living," and then expect people to just froth at the puss for it.
I don't expect people to froth. They're like, "Wow, you have a desk job. Good job."
Wow, congrats, buddy.
I'm really living the life. I'm the proud father of a dog named Ella.
I'm a dog parent as well.
She's quite the mess, but we love her anyway. Actually, as a matter of fact, she just turned 2 yesterday.
Indiana just turned 1 back in November, actually.
Nice.
And we just passed her adoption day. Like,
sometime. I know I took Ella at the end of May. So I'm not quite to my 2-year mark with actually
Sorry.
having her.
My wife was correcting me in the background. How unprofessional of her. I'm married also. I'm married. I have a beautiful wife, and she's an asshole. Which is fine because I'm an asshole as well. So it kind of balances. Whoa, 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 whoa. First off, we were recording.
First off, you're calling me.
I too have a girlfriend. I live with her, uh, along with my doggy. Um, so yeah,
Welcome to Peaked at Birth.
welcome to Peaked at Birth. So we want to start off, I guess, also by explaining a little bit about what we will talk about. Michael kind of gave you a little hint of it.
It's just gonna be like a general conversation with, it's just two dudes sitting in dark rooms together talking about My Little Pony fan fiction.
We aren't in the same room together, but we are for sure
You gonna
talking.
Are we gonna talk about My Little Pony fan fiction?
We may.
It
It
depends.
depends on the day and where we get.
I mean, first off, my favorite fact about My Little Pony is that bronies were a 4chan joke.
And then they became real.
Yeah.
That's
It's one of those where it's just like if you make fun of a fetish and you eventually develop it, Like,
yeah.
when people are like, oh, I would never get off the feet. That's just the... Miss, give me your souls.
Yeah. It's yeah, I don't understand foot fetishes or
Yeah.
I
I
think
I get
I
it.
think yeah, like I understand. I imagine like I definitely can like look at someone's feet and be like, "Wow, you take care of your feet." But I'm not
Can I
like
lick them?
but I'm not like shooting up and being like, "Damn, them feet." You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
It just
girl,
doesn't
send me a
happen.
pic of them size 9s,
It just doesn't no, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Like, forget about the nudes, give me your feet.
No. I don't You know what? To each their own.
Yeah, you know what? As long as it's not like... I don't know, as long as it's not like a scat fetish. I mean, because it's like, it doesn't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
With feet... I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Yeah, we're done.
This
So
is getting gross.
so some of the other things that we'll talk about. We are both big fans of sports. Specifically football, basketball. I'm a huge tennis player. And I
I'm
like to
getting
watch
back into it,
tennis.
actually.
Yeah, so I watch a lot of tennis. I know a lot about tennis.
I watch a
But
lot of cornhole.
cornhole.
Cornhole's
Oh,
fun
no.
to watch, man.
It's not fun to watch.
It's better than baseball.
I agree. Maybe. I don't know, actually. I do get quite impressed with people who
Baseball is kind
professionally
of
play cornhole.
yeah, baseball is interesting to watch though. And I think that's just like because I'm in my 20s now. I'm like, "Oh man, it's a kind of a fun sport to watch highlights of." I don't think I could sit through a full game.
Okay. Yeah, so I appreciate highlights and like really good plays in baseball, but I feel like they only come like once every 5 months, you know?
I
I feel
would
like
say
every
it's like one team gets a really good play for the season.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, like I said, there's definitely impressive stuff that happens. Like, don't get
Mhm.
me wrong, they're professional athletes. They get paid a lot of money to do what they do. Good for them.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm working at a marching band uniform plant in the middle of Wichita, Kansas. Like, I'm not making millions like they are. However, I just don't think baseball's that entertaining to watch. I mean,
Oh no. No. I can't sit there and watch like 9 innings of a game.
no, like if someone does like a sick 360 no scope throw to first base to get someone out, like hell yeah, dude, do that shit.
Yeah, I will
But
actively stand up at a bar and like applaud that shit. But
yeah, I also, I guess as far as sports go, I watch a lot of UFC as well. Um, Big fan of the UFC. Big fan of watching grown ass dudes beat the fuck out of one another for millions of dollars.
see, I want to get into it. I don't know.
Is it too
It's
much
hard.
for you?
Yeah, it can be.
Are you squeamish with blood?
Yes, extremely.
Okay. So so UFC isn't for
I have
you.
I don't even know what the name of that is, but it's almost like a fear of blood. Anytime I see it, it's just straight pass out.
That's unfortunate.
It is. I
Um.
can't do needles either.
Yeah. I'm a little iffy on needles. I can do it, but I don't like it.
I mean, I
Um.
took my last flu shot like a champ, so.
Good. Proud of you, buddy. Did they give you a sticker afterwards?
No, they gave me a Band-Aid. So I guess technically.
Like, Band-Aids are stickers.
Yeah.
They are sticky and they stick to
Like how
surfaces.
hot dogs are hoagies.
Hot dogs are what?
Hot dogs are hoagies. Because they can't technically
Funny.
be classified as sandwiches because hoagies are like a split bun instead of like a full like bread.
Okay, so you're saying okay, hang on. I think I know what you're getting at. So here's what I'm gonna say, okay?
Okay.
All what's a it's like the whole argument like all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's similar to that, I just don't know how to put it.
Well, okay, so
I would
all
consider
hoagies are sandwiches, but all sandwiches aren't hoagies.
yes. Yeah.
But I would consider hoagie as like a subclass of sandwiches.
Yes.
I
Well, I mean
think
there's also like paninis.
yeah,
That's a type
grilled
of sandwich.
cheeses.
Grilled, which is also kind of a pan. No, I guess not
It
really a
is
panini.
it's a not it's a panini that isn't pressed.
Yeah, so just a anyway. That
Cereal
actually
is
is.
a cold stew. It's not a soup.
Oh my god. So funny we talk about stuff like this because another thing that we'll talk about a lot in this podcast is our hot takes, whether they be stupid like cereal is a cold stew, and hoagies are their own subclass of sandwiches and stuff like that. And they could amount to something bigger, like I don't know. I think the world is flat. I don't actually. I'm not a flat earther, but I'm just saying something that is
I got a lot
widely.
of really dumb takes that I'm waiting. I'm just like writing down and waiting
Yeah,
on for this. Like further down the line, you're gonna hear me say some dumb shit.
yeah. So we got some fun stuff planned. We both are huge gamers, so we'll talk a lot about games. Um, specifically, the games that we're into now. Maybe some cool stuff that happened in gaming recently. Michael and I game almost every night together, which
Yeah,
is fun.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, like for example, we're big into Apex right now. We suck ass, but we're big into Apex.
yeah. And we,
Um,
it's probably one of the more enjoyable battle royales out there.
I
Considering what's
easily the
on the market.
I was gonna say easily it is the most enjoyable, depending upon the type of person you are.
Yeah,
Those people who are hardcore Call of Duty fans that are die-hard Call of Duty will probably say Warzone's the best one.
yeah.
Um,
And the people who really like the build mechanics in Fortnite will probably 100% say Fortnite's the greatest one.
yeah, I mean they're wrong, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I think Fortnite is a terrible game. Um, but
But
yeah,
that's
so
another discussion for another time.
yeah, so that's another topic we can discuss at a later date. What else? Um, yeah, music. We're also huge music fans. I love music. I listen to music hours a day at work
Yeah,
while
and
I
I, you know,
clickety clack on a keyboard all day long.
literally can't do anything without it playing. It's like this weird tick I have.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to music while I take showers. While I
Mhm.
clean the house, while I poop. Sometimes I don't know. You just gotta
I
have it.
do. I watch music videos.
I mean, I watch a lot of TikTok when I poop, but
Yeah.
that's because TikTok's easy to just.
Turn on. And yeah, yeah. I mean, you could just
uh,
sift through it for hours.
I can literally just swipe for hours
I
on
will
TikTok.
say though, since like, because when TikTok first came out, because it was just essentially it was this company bought out Musically, and then for a while it was literally just Musically, but with a different name, and everyone was like, "Oh, TikTok's just so dumb," it's blah blah blah, and then eventually the conversation became like, "Oh, you know what, TikTok." Does kind of suck, but they're, you sift through the shit and then you find like a nugget every so often. It's like a good piece of content. And now it's like I have a really hard time trying to find like anything bad on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because it's an algorithm system where it's like it looks
Yeah.
at what you like and then it tailor makes your For You page for you.
Well, I mean, it's in the name.
Yeah, exactly. And
It's the
I
For
like how
You page.
there's not like a whole lot of bullshit with the app, except for what people have been trying to push for a while now.
Well, yeah.
But that's
I mean,
besides the point.
their monetization system is kind of janky. They
Yeah.
screw creators out of money by,
But that's what
shadow
Vine was
banning
doing
them.
for a while. I
I
mean,
don't know.
Vine wasn't even paying creators.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of
They had to
Vine
do a lot
creators
of
just went
sponsored
to
stuff.
YouTube. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Viners just migrated to YouTube and then migrated back to TikTok when it became a thing. So
There was a lot of scummy things going on behind the scenes with Vine though, because with Vine they were like, "Hey, our app is starting to fail," and they went to like their top creators, be like, "What would be one thing that like you would uh you would like to see with the app, or like what would be one thing that you think could save us?" And I believe it was the Paul brothers specifically that were like, "Just pay us a shit ton of money," and the Vine guys were like, "We literally cannot do that." And then shortly after, Vine just went under.
yeah, yep, very much so. Um, yeah, so TikTok, fun.
Get ready for
Uh,
fun facts.
fun facts.
Because
Um,
I have an approximate knowledge on most things.
yeah. I do at one point. Also, I mean, we've discussed this. When Michael and I have a chance to get back in person, and when he moves
Yeah, this is
back
gonna be
up
an
to,
audio podcast for a while. Eventually we will be switching to like a more video format.
yeah, and
Because I'm down in Oklahoma right now. He's up in Kansas, semi close to our hometown. And I'm eventually going to be moving back up.
yeah,
I
and
miss everybody.
at that point we'll probably switch over to a more video based thing where we just lounge on the couch and talk to one another,
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. And maybe at that point I kind of thought about this, and you know, um, we can even, if we discuss a TikTok, we can add in the TikTok to the video so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about, rather than saying like, "Oh, this TikTok that I'm talking about," and
Gotta
then
go to
just like,
this link specifically. It's
yeah, you just
tiktok.co/
whatever it fucking comes out to be. Um, another thing. So back to what we talk about. We may talk about some general news that you hear. Like one of the biggest things that's going around now that I've heard is for those of you who do watch a lot of UFC and know of the Paul brothers, as Michael mentioned earlier, um, Ben Askren and Jake Paul are about to have a boxing match.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah, Ben Askren being he's now retired from the UFC after having a very, very slow start to his career in the UFC and just decided that it was time to leave. Notably, right after a fighter by the name of Jorge Masvidal, flying kneed him to the side of the head and knocked him out for several hours.
Jeez.
Um, decided to, yeah, he decided to hang his gloves up. It was a little bit much for him. And I couldn't agree more. That probably would suck really bad. But yeah, we might talk about stuff like that. Maybe about how David Dobrik's life is now in shambles because of people he used to hang out with. Stuff like that. Um,
Yeah.
and then last thing we want to mention for sure is one thing we will not discuss on this podcast ever. Um,
Politics.
is politics. Yes. Politics is a huge thing in today's world that causes the most turmoil I think I've ever seen in my life. Um, People now, hate each other because of their political views. And I'm just gonna tell you now, I'm not gonna share my political views on the podcast. I just don't,
And
that's
we do ask that all of our listeners respect that, not only of us but of each other. Um just because like someone expresses theirs in the comments or whatever doesn't mean you have to debate or anything. I'm just going to say it right now. I'm not going to be very open about my views. I'm not going to be very open about my opinions, except for when it comes to dumb shit. Um, I just, it's unneeded in most cases, and I don't want to have to like sit there and like referee at all about it.
yeah. I'm not gonna I'm just not gonna play the politics game. Is really all it is. I just want to. That is one topic my entire life that I've
We just ask
never
that everyone be
enjoyed.
respectful of decisions.
Yes. Um. Maybe one. I mean, even if it comes to Q&A stuff and someone asks a political question, I'm probably not gonna answer it. I'm just gonna skip it. Sorry. And the kind of person I am, I'll probably even ask the question out loud and then be like, "Yeah, we're not answering that. See you later, bye," and just toss it out.
And we're not doing any Q&A this episode, just because this is the first episode. But the next episode, we will be a little bit more open to doing Q&A. So if you have a good question for us, we'll be setting up a hashtag, so you can just ask through the hashtag on Twitter, and even on our. If open up anything else, feel free.
Yeah, I'm sure Twitter's a good platform to begin with.
Twitter's almost the perfect platform for it.
Yeah, as of right now. So I think we've decided that the hashtag is going to be hashtag #AskPeaked.
And if you want, you can keep up with our Twitter. We should be doing this at the end, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it right now, and then we'll do it again at the end. To follow us on Twitter at peaked at birth. I managed to get that. Isn't that surprising?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't know how it worked, but you did it. Good job.
Yeah. I didn't have to do it. It's funny. I'm surprised it wasn't taken. There's a lot of Twitter handles that are taken.
Yeah. So yeah. And then as far as dates, as our release dates and stuff.
Release dates will be kind of up in the air, but do expect us like every Monday through Wednesday.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Life does happen, and editing has to happen. So
and for whatever reason, we will be 100% transparent. Like if like an upload's going to be missed, we will 100% just be like, hey, by the way, missing an upload for this day. Expect it like sometime later in the week or whatever.
Yeah, or hey, life happened. We have a lot going on. We weren't able to record an episode. We'll be back next week.
So
stuff like that.
It's all about just transparency. We'll try and be as open as possible.
And maybe at one point, we open up other social platforms via Facebook, Instagram, stuff
Reddit,
like that.
Yeah.
Reddit.
I especially want to start a subreddit, but
Reddit would be fun.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of stupid shit on Reddit.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love it.
Yeah.
So
Reddit's a birthplace of bullshit, and I love it.
Yes. I haven't done a whole lot of Reddit diving.
I used to watch a lot of porn on Reddit.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. I get mine from the basic sites.
Yeah, I used Tumblr for a while too, and then they banned it. So, that's when I moved to Reddit.
Nice.
Tumblr's the reason why I have a Reddit account. Isn't that weird?
Man, you just unlocked like a huge gateway of memories by saying Tumblr. I opened up my Tumblr like a year ago to see what all was there.
Right.
And I like even looked up some of like the sketchy stuff that I used to like look at and stuff. And I was like, oh wow, they actually took it down. Good for them.
Yeah, there was a whole contract thing with Verizon and iTunes specifically.
Did they get bought up by somebody and then they had to change?
Yeah.
Or?
So originally Tumblr was bought out by Yahoo, and I think Yahoo sold it to Verizon. And I think there was a huge dispute between Verizon specifically and Apple, because there was a lot of porn on the site, a lot of illegal porn on the site. I like to add of specifically with minors wasn't being filtered through, and Apple said either get rid of the porn or you're no longer welcome on Apple devices. And so they just got rid of the porn. Yeah,
that makes sense. I can't be mad about that.
No, it's completely like worth it cause. For at the time, people were super mad about it because it was like, well, now we can't share like our consenting adult images, and it's like, well, the fucking pedophiles ruined it for you again. So, about get angry with them.
Well, you can also just do that shit on Twitter because they don't really filter a lot of that stuff either.
They're starting to.
Yeah, they're getting better, but I mean, there's still people that
I saw someone rant on Twitter the other day, and it made me fucking laugh because they were like, "Why the fuck is Instagram censoring my post?" And it's like, because you can't be naked on Instagram. It's owned by Facebook.
That
Facebook doesn't
dumbass.
allow nudity on their own platform. Why would they allow it on their other?
That's true. I don't know. People are just dumb, dude.
I know,
Dumb
right?
people. I'm not saying I'm like the smartest person on the planet, but there are some
I
really
like to
dumb
think I'm
fuckers.
above average.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
probably not, but you know.
I've taken a couple IQ tests, and I sit right around the 120, 130 area. Well,
I
no,
still haven't.
sorry.
I
Last time
haven't.
I
I
took
haven't
one,
tested.
last time I took one, it was like 119, but that's
I
because
like to keep the.
I was like put on the spot.
I like to keep the illusion that I'm just some sort of walking enigma, and
Yeah,
so I haven't tested my intelligence
sure.
because I would rather just be seen as a bullshit person instead of like, wow, he's a genius. He's just fucking with everybody, you know? Or like I'm actually just that stupid.
Yeah, I agree with that a lot because I mean, if you see me with my friends, I guess let me put it this way: when someone has a serious conversation with me, I can be very intellectual.
Yeah.
And then there's the times where you just get me in this mood where
I have such a hard time trying to take things seriously.
I couldn't tell you. Like, there's times where I couldn't tell you the difference between a rock and a fucking toe.
But
I
I
don't
will
know.
I will try to explain how the toe is similar to the rock, man. I will
I will I will tell you a word means something completely different than what it actually means, and I will argue with you about it. That's just the kind of person I am. I don't like to be wrong
but yeah.
because it feels terrible, but it just sucks.
Kind of tired. I didn't want to be I haven't been up
Oh
that long.
well, don't be tired.
Okay.
All right. Well, good thing I have some questions for you.
Oh shit.
So how are you?
I'm alive.
Oh, good.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm good.
That's
Um,
good.
I had some Freddy's ordered tonight for dinner, and they didn't forget my shake,
Ooh.
which is good. Because
Do they normally do?
the last two times they did, and I was very upset.
Oh man,
As
I didn't tell you
it
about my
is,
DoorDash lady like a couple orders ago.
what happened? Tell
I
me,
ordered Whataburger, right? It was delicious.
dude. Whataburger is like the best drunk food. I'm
It
telling you,
is. It is. But I ordered it,
it's
and it was like middle of the day. First off,
right.
this lady calls me. He's
Yeah,
like, "So where's your apartment?" Like she just kind of screams like that type of person to me.
yeah.
He's like, "So where's your apartment?" I'm like, "Oh, it's in building 10." He's like, "Well, it's not on your address," and I was like, "It is." He's like, "Well, you might think about uploading it or was it updating it so for the future." I was like, "Okay, well, you're the only one who's ever had issues with it, but go off, I guess." And so like she's still like it takes her another 10 minutes to get to the apartment. And those 10
Oh
minutes
my.
like feel like forever.
I mean, yeah, you're waiting for food.
Yeah.
I. It feels like forever for me when I'm waiting for the dumbass to drive down the street.
Right. But yeah, so
Like I
she
see their
drops it
car
off.
down the street, and I'm like, this is why. Anyway,
Yeah, she drops it off and then like immediately just like sends that generic like thank you for the tip. I was like, "Okay, sure." Because it was like immediately like food dropped off notification for the thank you for the tip and
oh,
then drive off. And I'm like, "Okay, what the fuck is her problem?" And I pick up the order and she has Protestant Christian propaganda stapled to my bag. Like the whole like, "Oh, are you drowning in sin? Let Jesus save you. Go to this
hell yeah,
church." And it's like,
hell yeah.
"Oh."
Preach it, lady. Preach it.
Exactly.
I
That's what
fucking
I want.
dude. I love that.
And
Um,
it's Protestant because it's not like because the Catholics aren't as aggressive
you
with
just
their
know
marketing.
you just know.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't see I've never encountered a Catholic like out in public being like, you should come see Jesus.
Oh, are
No,
you
it's
drowning? And plus, it's like, what is with those churches? And it's constantly just, oh, are you drowning? Don't drown in sin. Like, what is there a lot of drowning happening in the church? Like, should I be
yeah.
worried if I go to the church? Like, is this a pool church?
This is the pool. Are we just swim during sermons?
Is this a swimming sermon? Yeah.
Now, I do want to say I don't have anything against people who are religious.
No, not at all. Some of my best friends are deeply religious.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of our friends are deeply religious.
I'm baptized Catholic. I mean,
Yeah, I personally am not religious at all. I view myself as agnostic.
Yeah.
But the overly done evangelism is just really it really
it's
gets
kind of
me.
funny to poke at too.
It really
is.
Yeah,
so mad. They get so
yeah,
mad.
I just like, and I don't have anything against it. I'm like, I'm glad you're trying to spread the word of God. Like, and I love it. You know, be you.
Yeah.
However,
But don't get mad if I politely decline.
also, don't like be up in my face and annoying about it. Like, if I can politely be like, yeah, you know, this is not for me. Just leave me alone after that. That's all I
had a lady
ask.
approach me in an apartment parking lot because I was dropping something off to one of my friends in college, and they approached us and they're like, "Oh, are you two together?" I went, "Nah, we're just sinning." She's like, "Excuse me? Well, here's this," and she hands me like one of those like comic strips because it's like
Jesus
weird and
comic
awkward.
strips.
Yeah. And she goes, "Well, read through that." And then they specifically asked me, they're like, "So, how do you view the afterlife?" I'm like, "I don't know. I think I kind of follow the Hindu belief of reincarnation."
Yeah.
I just like fucking with those people, man.
It's
it's fun.
Yeah, when you can be a smartass about it and like have fun with it, it just makes
I
your
got a
life so
text
much
later
easier.
from my friend. She's like, "I love you so much. That was so funny." And I was like, "You know what? I'm proud. I'm proud that I've ruined someone else's day for like a month."
But yeah, I
Oh, they probably thought about it too. Like, what the fuck did he mean Hindu reincarnation?
Dude, it's okay. So I used to work retail, and I mean Michael used to work retail too.
God,
So he knows a lot of really stupid stories. But I have numerous stories of just those type of people like in public, and I mean, and I'm not even talking about like religious evangelizing people anymore. I'm talking about like just those outright dumb people.
Yeah,
You know, I have so many stories, and I can tell you so many stories of just those people being absurdly stupid, like and just
or just
ridiculous.
obnoxious in general.
Yeah,
like God, I have so many rude people stories.
on so many occasions, I was told I was wrong. On so many occasions, I was told that I would never be good at my job. You know, just stuff like that. It's oh my gosh. And then the amount of times I was a smartass back to those people just fuels my asshole.
Have you ever, I don't know, can you to a person?
What do you give me an example?
So like this lady was being like an asshole to me when I was working, and she was just being like rude as fuck, and I was getting tired of her attitude. So she's like, "Well, can you do this with this thing?" And I straight up, I don't remember where I was working. I think I was working at that craft store still. And they were like, "Can you use this for blank?" And I just looked her in the face and I was like, "I don't know, can you?"
I had a lady one time.
I was just so tired of her attitude.
I know. Some people. I had a lady one time. So I used to work at the local Kroger stores here in Wichita.
Right.
They're called Dillon's here. But I had a lady come up to me one time, and she so we used to sell what's called so I guess let me preface by saying what are they? The Lebanese people. A lot of Lebanese people, they eat what's called hashwa or kibba meat.
Oh yeah.
And it's essentially just ground beef, but they eat it raw, and it's like that's what it's intended for.
Right.
But I had a lady come up to me, and she had ordered some of said hashwa or kibba meat. I can't remember at this point, but it doesn't really matter. And our store sold it for a set price, and they had decided to continue only selling it at that set price, and there was no sale on it ever. But this lady, thinking she was smart, she walked up to me, and I handed her her pre-made meat. And I said, "Here you go, ma'am." And then she stopped me and said, "Are these going to be on sale up front?" And I said, "No, ma'am. It was recently changed that our Hushwa and Kibba never go on sale. They stay at a set price." And I thought that was the end of the conversation. She was going to be like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, right.
But no, she stops me and she says, "No, you're wrong." Like,
huh?
oh. Okay. I said, what am I wrong about exactly? She said, this meat is on sale right now, and it's always on sale, and that's when I buy it. And I said, okay, well, like I said, our Hushba and Kibba, they never go on sale. It stays at set price. That's it. She says, no, you're wrong. And I said, okay, well, let me go get my manager, and then you can tell him he's wrong. And I walked back and grabbed my manager, and sure enough, they had the exact same conversation. The lady got pissed at him and walked away and was like, "You're not gonna get any sales with this type of attitude." And he's like, "I don't know. I sold $300 worth of Hushwa and Kibba over Christmas, so I don't think I'll have a problem." I was like, "Oh damn,
Fuck.
Jesus." Yeah, he's definition asshole, but he's one of my favorite managers I've ever had.
Well, yeah.
He's so funny. He was the type of manager that when it came down to it and he was like giving you shit, you could just straight up tell him to shut the fuck up and like walk out of the room and he'd just laugh at you. Like he strived off of people being angry at him.
Dude, I used to be like that. I'm not like that anymore. I used to be
Oh
like
yeah.
that though.
Oh my gosh. We have so let's go ahead and start off a good old childhood story that involves Michael and I. It's a good one.
Good golly gosh. I don't know which one's gonna be though.
Oh no, it's the famous one. It's
oh.
Do you know which one it is?
I think, but go ahead.
No. I just want you to guess.
Uh,
what was your weapon of choice?
Oh, yeah. This is the Mario Party story.
Yeah. So, I can't remember what Mario Party it was.
8. It was the one on Wii.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So Mario Party 8 on Wii. I don't know how and I don't know why.
I was getting tired of losing like mini games. I was losing every mini game for no reason. It was,
yes. Well, and specifically losing every mini game to me. I don't know how and I don't know why, but I was really good at like 85% of the mini games on that game. And I think the one in particular, and if you guys are gamers, you may know what I'm talking about that have played this, but there's one where you tightrope walked. And essentially the premise was, you turn the remote forward and then you have to counterbalance you turn it forward, you walk, counterbalance the remote, and it keeps you balanced, and then the more balanced you are, the faster you move. Michael and our buddy Nathaniel were the two I was playing against, and for some reason, they both looked at me and they're like, "How are you doing this?" Because my character's just like sprinting across the tightrope, and it almost seems like my pole's not moving at all.
Like what the fuck? Are you hacking Mario Party?
They're really mad that I'm just like, I don't know. I've mastered this thing. Michael, I had gotten Michael so upset throughout this entire time. He had came over to me and punched me in the arm on several occasions, or in the leg, dead arming me, dead legging me and stuff. He got so mad that he went to the corner of Nathaniel's room, because we were at his house, where he had his keyboard, and he picked the keyboard up.
Like an actual 88 key piano keyboard.
Yeah, it was pretty big. And he just lifts this up and comes at me with it. And Nathaniel and I have to be like, "Well, bro, it's all right, chill." Needless to say, we stopped playing Mario Party, but I soon left after that as well.
Yeah.
To avoid any sort of conflict happening. That's the kind of bullshit that happened to us in high school. That's the kind of angsty teens we were.
Yeah, we were just a couple of angry boys.
Angry boys, and specifically us too.
We were constantly the ones getting at each other.
Yeah. I was always told by one of our friends before lunch. He'd be like, "Hey, gotta be careful. Michael's gonna try to get into your skin today." I'm like, "All right, I'm prepared."
And then he would join in.
And then that asshole would join in on the fucking picking on me. He'd be like, "Ha, Cody, you're a fucking idiot." Ha! And I'm like, "You motherfucker, you're the one who warned me he was gonna be an asshole. Now you're being an asshole."
Do you want to know why? Want to know why he would do that?
Because you guys would plan it.
No, because he knew that you would be defending against me.
I mean, yeah.
So you wouldn't have a defense against him. That's exactly why he was doing it.
I fucking hate that guy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really hate him. I can't say I hate the guy anymore.
No.
I just don't agree with his life choices, which is fine. I mean, he can, to each their own. He can do what he wants.
I'm just, he just needs to expect that, he can't have me in his life anytime he wants to do something stupid.
Yeah, I mean, same. I just I have
Oh,
a very
I've stopped hanging out with him since.
I have a big rule of stupid people don't belong in my life because they're stupid. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Now look at us.
it's
We're besties.
yeah. I mean, I didn't think in a million years I'd be really good friends with the guy that low
You're
key
hosting
bullied
a
me.
that you're hosting a podcast
we're
with now.
we're co-hosting a podcast together, uh,
Yeah.
and he's the guy who like low key bullied me and made me want to shoot myself in the foot every other day.
But look at us. Now we're adults.
Now we're adults. We respect it. We
Yeah,
respect
yeah,
each
yeah.
other's opinions.
Yeah,
Who
we know
thought?
how to psychologically torture each other now. And take it. We can take it now. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think that's like one of my biggest improvements since high school.
Yeah, being able to take things.
I have thick skin, like thick with 6 C's.
What's
It's
funny, I think my skin's gotten thinner.
you know, maybe that's what marriage does to you, buddy.
Maybe.
Maybe. I say that and she's like right next to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
I want to, I'm
Any
going to avoid
any
this
hoosers.
one.
See, what
Yeah.
else do I have?
Mm.
Any good movies or TV shows you've watched recently?
So I finally watched all of Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay.
Really enjoyed
A
it.
big I should probably also add we're big nerds. We big nerds. We watch anime. I don't watch as much as probably Michael does, but
Yeah, I watch a lot of the old stuff.
I appreciate anime. We also are huge D&D people. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Uh,
D&D, video games,
it kind
anime,
of
books. I read. Not
I
as
don't
often
read.
as I used to, but
I don't read. I hate reading.
AR
It's because of
killed reading for a lot of kids.
well, I think the reason why I dislike reading is because I didn't learn to read until I learned a year later than everybody, and so my reading level was
They
always
didn't
way
start like
behind.
until second grade.
I didn't start until first.
Well, I
I
mean,
didn't. I
okay,
didn't.
yeah, technically we did learn how to read in kindergarten.
Yeah, I mean, we learned like 3-letter words and like easy words.
Yeah,
But I didn't truly know what a word said
that was
until
the year when
first
you
grade.
transferred to our elementary school, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't. That's
Where were you
I was
going
in
before you
like
went to Garfield?
Lincoln, the school that you then transferred to.
Dude, I hated it there.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I mean, I actually met someone. I mean, eventually, we were classmates with them later,
Mhm.
but I met a lot of people at that elementary school. And then when I realized in elementary or in that when middle school hit, all of those elementary schools like combined into like a single class. I was
It was so
like,
weird
it was so
because
weird.
it was technically 5 elementary schools
Yeah,
if you count the Catholic school.
yeah, it was. I can't say I'm not gonna say I hated it because it was really an
It
interesting
was just a
dynamic.
hard adjustment.
It really is, yeah.
'Cause it's
Because
like
you go from
it's
40
essentially like
people.
factions. It was how like
It
we all
really
viewed the
yes.
elementary schools in general because it was like
Holy
you had the
cow.
4 main public ones, Ewalt, Robinson, Garfield, and
I
Lincoln.
thought I thought it was great because you like on the very first day of 6th grade when we, hit.
Oh yeah, when we
I,
all like finally met back up.
yeah. But you for sure could tell like the Catholic kids from all the other kids.
Oh,
And it
oh
was
yeah.
kind of weird because they all dressed up really nice the first day of
Yeah.
school. Almost like they were in their uniforms again. And I was like,
Yeah.
guys, this is public
No, the
school. I don't know
hard
what you're
adjust
doing.
the hard adjustment going from the Catholic school to the middle school was
But
so
see,
easy
like
to watch.
I don't think they really didn't struggle with it because I mean
It was hard. Hey.
that's funny. But
But yeah,
yeah, it's
you could all tell like who had been friends at those elementary schools before going into middle school because a lot of
yeah.
those groups never broke up.
Well, yeah, but you could also tell the people who knew each other out like from sports
Yeah.
because like
Oh yeah.
all the guys that played football already knew each other,
Right. And so they
and
all
so
just
they
kind of
were
gravitated towards each other
yeah. It was
and then
like
became like
that's when
the elite level of douchebag in our
that's
grade.
that is when that is when you like that's officially when like the jocks started.
Yeah, it was 6th grade.
Yeah,
At least in our town cuz I know there are still towns that practice like 6th grade is part of the elementary school.
yeah.
And
It'd
then,
be like that.
ugh. And then it just like It's so weird because you have that's your only like huge adjustment in
I don't know.
Through
High school was a huge adjustment, honestly.
I
It
guess,
was
but it didn't feel as drastic.
no. Because middle school you were more into middle school really made you more of an independent student rather than being like you're like
Yeah,
reliant on a teacher.
yeah.
Because like you were responsible for making the class on time, you were responsible for getting homework done, you were responsible for like contacting each teacher for
Homework
help
and
when you
stuff.
needed
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean in elementary school, your elementary school teachers literally just like
Yeah, they
handed
pretty
it
much
to
just
you.
hand it to you.
I mean, you're never
In
gonna
middle
fail.
school, in middle school, it was like the first instance of like, oh, you have to pay attention now.
Yeah, I mean, I paid attention to school like early on anyway. Because I was kind of a goody two shoes in school up until like high school.
I didn't start paying attention until college, and like this year.
Right. Yeah, I didn't like getting in trouble. I never liked getting in trouble.
I got used to it.
I actually only ever served one detention in high school.
You know, I had a surprisingly low detention record in high school.
Middle school is a way different story.
Yeah. I was in there. What was it like every other day?
If not every day.
Well, only in sixth
Pretty-
grade. Sixth grade
I'm
was
pretty-
almost every single day. Seventh grade, I think I only had like 5 to 10 detentions,
Nice.
and then in eighth grade, I think I had 1.
Yeah, I didn't have my first detention until 10th grade, but as a sophomore in high school. And it was only, and I mean only because my mom told the principal to give me a detention. My mom
Right.
told the principal because okay, so we had this could be different for everybody who's listening, but our high school gave us laptops that we used, like personal laptops that we could take home, use for homework, and it was really helpful.
It was helpful, but those laptops did suck
They sucked, yes. However,
because we had small town Kansas budget.
yes. However, I'm still pretty forgetful, but I tend to be like to forget stuff just laying around.
Yeah.
My most common one is I leave my phone in the bathroom all the time. But I had forgotten my laptop somewhere, and it had been like the 5th time I had done so. So I went to the principal, the assistant principal, Mr. I won't say his name.
Yeah. But the only good principal that high school.
Well, yeah, I mean the only one who enforced rules. But I went to his office and I said, "Hey, I forgot my laptop in the lunchroom. Can I have it back?" And he simply said, "I don't have it." And I was like, "What? Excuse me?" And he said, "Yeah, I don't have it." And I said, "I know you have it because you take it all the time." But I went back to go get it and it wasn't there, even though I knew I forgot it. Can I have it back? I was trying to be reasonable. I was trying to be nice. And he's like, "No." And he's like, I'm actually gonna call your parents. I was like, "Okay, call my parents. That's fine, whatever." And then like later that day they had like handed you detention slips and stuff.
Yeah.
And so later that day I got a detention, and my mom even texted me and said, "I told your teacher to give you a detention." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Well, you got to learn your lesson on you're not forgetting your laptop." And I said, "Mom, he deliberately set me up for failure, and you're going to tell him to give me a detention?" "Yes." "Okay, whatever." And then she was gonna try to be smart about it too, and be like, "You have to walk home from your detention as more of a punishment." I'm like, "Really? What the fuck?"
Jeez, man.
Luckily,
Jesus.
yeah, it was so stupid. I live like 3 miles away from the school.
I remember
So-
there was one time the nurse
What a
got
tolerance.
really mad at me.
Bro, our nurse sucked ass.
Yeah, exactly. This is why this story is about to go where it went.
Okay, I'm ready.
So
Tell me.
I had called my grandma after weightlifting.
Yeah.
Freshman year. Because I was having a migraine and I was having a really hard time like standing and not feeling sick.
Right, kind of hard time focusing and everything.
Yeah, so I called my grandma. I'm like, "Hey, I'm going to need you to pick me up. I'm having a really bad migraine." And so my grandma, because I lived with my grandparents in high school, and so my grandma like calls the school and tells them she's pulling me out, and they're like, "Why?" And she tells him, "Oh, he's not feeling very good." As I'm walking out of class and up to the office to go home, the nurse meets me there and she's like, "You need to tell me when you're feeling sick." And I'm like, "Why? You're just going to give me some bullshit ibuprofen and send me back to class and I'm still going to feel like shit for the rest of the day. I think I'd rather tell the person I live with that I'm feeling sick." You know, it's just ridiculous because our school nurse sucked. It was
Yeah,
awful.
her solution was, here's some ibuprofen, go back to class.
Or if that.
Yeah, she always sat. Like, she literally did nothing. She sat in her
She would
office.
judge you. She would judge you if you came
Yeah,
in. You're like,
she
"Hey, I'm
still
not
does
feeling very
sometimes.
good," and then she would just be like, "That's my problem."
Straight up. Okay, senior year. And this sucks so bad. But senior year, I was in 2 weightlifting classes. They were called. Well, we had one called strength and conditioning, and that was just your basic like
Yeah, you were
pump
in.
iron. I
You
was
were
in
with me in
your
that one. Yeah.
yeah. And then I was in lifelong fitness, which was like all cardio and ab based, essentially. It was really like I guess one of the best ways to describe it was like really kind of CrossFit, essentially.
I never
It
got to
seemed
take
like
that one. But how was
no,
it?
it wasn't CrossFit. No, it was really just cardio. I'm stupid. Anyway, needless to say, we were playing a game, and for those of you who know what it is, it's called handball. Basically, it's like basketball and soccer combined. You know, you throw the ball around or you dribble it on the ground like a soccer ball. You know, whatever
But you can't
bullshit.
use your feet,
And
right?
no, you can.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, so handball is either you stand still and throw the ball around, or you drop it on the ground and kick it, and dribble it
Oh,
around like a
okay.
soccer ball. It's kind of weird.
It's weird.
It's like soccer with no handball rule. It's kind of weird. Anyway, so to start off every point after someone scores, you do a jump ball like in basketball. So it was my turn to jump ball, and I went up against this kid, and I won the jump ball, but the shoes I was wearing that day were awful. And I landed on my ankle sideways, and I I hard tweaked it.
Yeah.
And it was so bad that
That's
when
how
I
I
landed
broke
on
my
the
ankle in
ground,
8th grade, actually.
I thought I broke it, but I could not put weight on my ankle for like an hour.
Yeah.
But I hit it. It hit the ground and popped really loud,
Yeah. Oh,
and my bone struck the ground really hard, and I immediately fell to the ground. I tried to stand up, and I immediately collapsed to the ground again after trying to put weight on my ankle.
Mhm.
And so I went and sat down. The teacher then took 15 minutes. 15. I'm not lying. 15 minutes to come over and say, "Hey, are you okay?" After he watched me eat shit on the fucking floor. He was standing right next to me. He watched me tweak my ankle, hit the ground, then try to stand up, and then fall on the ground again.
Was the teacher for this class the football coach?
No. It was.
It was the wrestling coach. Yeah.
It was the wrestling coach. And yeah, so he watched me and he looked at me. He was like, "Are you okay? You good?" And I was like, "No, I tweaked my ankle super hard and it popped, and I can't put weight on it." I was like, "I don't know," but I said it could be broken. And he was like, "All right." And so he grabbed a kid, from the class, and he's like, "Hey, will you walk him down there?" And so I basically put all my weight on this kid as he walked me down to the fucking nurse. And I got into the nurse's office, and this lady, I'm like standing there, and I'm like, "Yeah, I just tweaked my ankle super hard. I don't know if it's broken." And they're like, "Oh, it's not broken." And like, she didn't even like look at it. She was
Yeah,
like, "No, it's
no,
not
because
broken."
she didn't want to. She didn't even
And I
want to
was
be
like,
there. Well, she
and
didn't
I was
actually know.
like,
She didn't want to be a nurse. She actually just wanted to be a friend for everybody, and specifically
Yeah.
the friends of her daughter
yeah, well,
and the
and
popular kids.
yeah, the popular kids, but
'Cause it was just a drama contest in our hometown.
it's, but yeah. So I'm like standing there, and she's like, "It's not broken because you're putting weight on it." And I said, "No, I'm not." I said, "I'm just letting it hang close to the ground." And she's like, "Here's some ibuprofen. Just go back to class." And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me, dude?" And so, yeah, I had to walk all the way back to the class by myself, which was, on the other side of the school.
And painful as hell, I imagine.
I mean, I hopped on one foot probably most of the way. I didn't even
Mhm.
touch my foot to the ground ever.
I mean,
And I just that I didn't even so the next day we actually had marching band, and I wore crutches to school until I was able to even put weight back on my ankle. And
yeah,
even
because
then
that was it was weird because we were both on crutches at the same time.
yeah, we were both like sitting on the sideline like playing. And then our band teacher was like, it was funny because the day So it was the day after, no, 2 days after the incident where I almost sprained my ankle, and the day before I had worn crutches, and then the day after I didn't because I refused to like stay on crutches because they're so annoying.
Oh
And so I'm like limping everywhere, but he like gives me this weird look as I walk into class as if like you were on crutches yesterday and now you're not. And I was like, sorry. I was like, I refuse to use them. My mom tried to get me to use them, and I was like, no. But it was
Yeah,
funny. Even my mom was
I unfortunately couldn't have that option.
no, because you destroyed your knee.
Oh yeah, my left knee is like nothing at this point.
Yeah, you'll need a knee replacement eventually, I imagine.
Oh yeah, I mean they tried giving me one after I turned 22.
You told them no.
They were like, well, if you tear through any more scar tissue, we're gonna have to like take part of your hamstring and put it there to like replace any tendons that get damaged. Oh, awesome! That's what I want. Yes.
Neato. The way to do it.
Yeah, but I suffered a really bad football injury freshman year, and it just never got better.
I am very fortunate that I never had an injury. I guess really the only injury would be like that ankle sprain, and then I had to do physical therapy.
It was just a sprained ankle, though.
Yeah,
very fortunate with that one.
It was really more of a twisted ankle rather than a sprained ankle.
Just like a really bad twist. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, I was able to put weight on it the next day, or I was able to put weight on it the next day, even though I didn't want to. And then the 2 days later, when I had because we had block scheduling,
right.
when I went back to that class, I was able to run on it and everything. Everyone was like trying to give me shit too. They're like, "Oh, you were on crutches yesterday. Now you're not. What the fuck happened?"
It's a miracle.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Specifically, like those super overly dramatic shock type.
Yeah.
People.
Oh yeah. Oh, my favorite thing is though the first day you show up with crutches, everybody wants to know why you're on crutches.
Yeah, literally everyone.
Everybody.
They've never cared about you in their entire life, and then the day you show up,
oh, how are you on crutches? You know.
What'd you do?
It's like, yeah, but you never asked the fat girl why she has a knee brace on. So like, you know.
Yeah. What a sad day.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I had an MCL tear, which resulted in both my ACL and my LCL being strained. Yeah, which is weird. And then it bruised both shin bones and my femur, and then knocked my kneecap out of place. Like that's how bad the injury really was.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, where it's like the MCL was actually the least concerning part of that injury. Because the doctor was looking at the x-ray and he's like, how the fuck did you do this? Like, how is everything damaged?
You destroyed your leg.
And it's like, wait, this is your professional opinion? Is how did I damage everything? I don't know, Doc. How about use one of your degrees to tell me how I damaged everything?
Yeah, no shit.
And then I had to have...
one of your 7 degrees.
Yeah, right. So I had to have surgery on the left... Because the left knee is the one I damaged. And then I had to have surgery on that one to remove a bunch of the cartilage under my kneecap. And then the next year, I had my right knee done, removing a lot of the cartilage under my kneecap because it was all dead and frayed. So it was like freshman year I was on crutches, sophomore year I was on crutches for a while, and then junior year I had to have my kneecap put back into place and then have the muscle stapled so it would stay in place. And then they removed cartilage, of course. So I was on crutches for a while junior year, and then senior year I ruptured my quad muscle. And so I was on crutches for a considerable amount of senior year.
Well, yeah, and then what was crazy is then you played tennis.
Oh, yeah, and then I played tennis.
For a short time on the team.
Senior year. Because I was part of it I was part of it in junior.
Yeah. And then, so yeah, you played tennis and was at a meet, and then you broke your wrist.
Yeah.
Playing tennis.
Yeah.
I know, guys, that probably sounds lame, but it really happens.
Yeah. What had happened was, I was up in no man's land. I was in the process of coming back to the line, and the kid, he hit it because we had just done a volley, or he had just served. I had returned it, and then I was moving back, and then he lobbed it, And as I went to send it back over, I don't know what it was. I think I actually twisted my ankle, which caused me to fall straight back. And as I was landing on my ass, because there was not like the from my ankle twisting and then me coming down, I had no time to kind of save myself, or at least not fall in a position that could hurt. And as I
Right.
landed, both of my hands just went immediately back, kind of like what you do when you fall when you're skating.
Yep.
And my wrist hit the ground, and it still had my racket, and it popped. My left wrist popped, and I stand back up, and I'm kind of locked in like a claw position with my hand where I can't like twist my arm at all, or else it hurts, or I can't move my finger or it hurts. So I'm kind of locked in like this position that perfectly fits around the ball. And our coach like, "Yo, Sullivan, you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." "You need to go see the trainer?" "No, I'm good.
I don't think. I don't think so.
I don't think so." And so I continued to play out the match because I believe it was first to 8 and not best of 8.
Yeah, it's always first to 8 for JV.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so it
First
was a
to 8
long.
win by 2.
Yeah, it was a. It was a long day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I played and I won. I'd like to point out I won.
Hey, you won that match, right?
Yeah,
I had
it
a
was like
similar
8-4.
situation. Had a similar situation happen to me, except it wasn't me that got hurt. I was on track to, or no, I wasn't on track for anything. I was playing in our home meet my junior year, and a kid from El Dorado, it was supposed to be the one I played, and he hurt himself. He twisted his ankle really hard. And so by default I got second
Damn.
because he had to default his 2 matches,
Hmm.
and all I did was lose one. All I had to do was lose a match, and I got second.
Ow.
I got really lucky.
Yeah.
It was great. I didn't deserve it, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Man, I wish I didn't hurt myself as much senior year because I'm pretty sure I would have gotten scouted, at least in football.
Yeah,
I don't think I would have been scouted for tennis, but I know in football I would have been scouted.
I got scouted for tennis actually.
Yeah.
I had several offers. I actually had joined this website that was for college athletes,
Hmm.
and I had applied for a position on 2 teams, and the day after I had applied, I got a call back from a school in Salina, Kansas, and played tennis for them for a year. It was cool.
Yeah.
Met a lot
Well,
of really cool guys.
it's about that time.
It is about that time.
I would. Any words to wrap up for today?
Don't die.
Yeah. No,
Drink
that's
lots of
that's a good
beer.
one.
And be sure to not walk barefoot in the desert.
I would say like don't get addicted to porn. Because that
So
ruins your
anyway,
sketches. Remember to follow us on Twitter at Peaked at Birth. Cody, is there anywhere where they can check you out?
I mean, peaked at birth, I guess, for now. I
Yeah.
don't really have a whole lot of social media platforms to follow. I guess my Instagram is KingBear97. My Twitter is KingBear97, something like that. It's either 97 or 1997. I don't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I just if you find me, you find me. If not, it's not. It's fine. I mean, I don't need a lot of traction. I don't want to be that famous, tbh. But if
Yeah,
it
fair
happens,
enough.
it
Fair
happens.
enough.
But yeah. So just KingBear97 or
And
1997.
he usually joins me over on Twitch. I'm at twitch.tv/JimmyLawl, LAWL. And you can also reach both of us at the Pigged at Birth Twitter.
Correct.
So, and for next time, to anybody listening, if they want to submit questions for a Q&A, remember to use the hashtag AskPeaked. That's ASK Peaked. PEAKED. So
That is it.
Yeah, and until next time, remember to wipe your ass.
Wipe your ass.
Gross little nerds, you.
Okay, goodbye all.
See everybody.